Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brief update on L5 Auction 1. This is Sam, as always, and today I'm going to give a brief recap of our first auction for L5. Of course, L5 is all about transparency, so we're very open and want to share all our numbers and let everyone know how the auction went. So the first point is that of all our lots, 98.5% sold, which is awesome to see. For those unsold lots, the vast majority tended to be a coin with a high reserve that ended up not being met, but for the most part, pretty much every single coin sold, and about 1.5% didn't, with just one or two actual lots simply not getting a bid, but the other 5 or 6 were because of the reserves. So still really great to see, and just roughly about 99% of lots sold, which is great for our first auction. Then we have a total hammer value. So for all the lots in the auction, it is $154,367, and that is compared to the total estimate of $81,334. So we're seeing then a nice difference there between the estimate and the actual hammer value. We had some strong bidding, which is great to see, and yeah, numbers that we're very happy with. Then in terms of the platform, so between L5 being posted publicly and the actual day of the auction, there were 2,381 bidders who registered. So that's just about 2,400 accounts that are on L5 and people who have signed up. And then in terms of the actual auction day, we had about 8,400 visitors. So these are people that we can track, unique individuals who have just come to the site to watch. Those aren't bidders, but we had about 8,400 people actually attend at some points during that auction just to view it, look at different lots. So we're also very happy with that, just in terms of being, a brand new platform. It's always difficult to see, difficult to know what to expect, but with about 2,400 bidders, that's great to see that we have that many accounts registered. And then, of course, 8,400 visitors. That's awesome to see. There was a lot of interest generated. And so here's kind of a little schematic breakdown of the difference between a normal auction house and L5. So on the left, we can see, again, the total hammer amount I mentioned, $154,367. At a normal auction house, typically, if you're going to consign your coins and sell there, you pay about a 15% selling fee. So if you as a collector sell your coin, you would get 85% of what that coin hammered for. So in terms of if L5 was a traditional auction house, collectors would have paid about $23,155 in fees. But of course, L5 is not a traditional auction house. We charge 0 selling fees. This means that sellers receive 100% of hammer. So our collectors who sold on the platform, they actually paid 0 in fees, of course, which means that just in L5 auction 1 alone, we saved collectors $23,155 just on selling fees. And then second, we look at buyer's premium. So, and again, the industry average for a traditional auction house would be that they charge a 20% buyer's premium fee. So if you had our total, $154,367, and you paid a 20% fee on that, that would have been $30,873.40 in buying fees that collectors would have paid at a traditional auction house. But again, of course, L5 is not a traditional auction house. We have industry low fees. So if you look, our buyer's premium ranges from 0 to 5%. So in total, the fees we charged for auction 1 was $6,134. And so for those fees, we can compare that to the $30,873 that would have been charged at a traditional auction house. This means that the L5 difference sees $24,739 saved for collectors in buying fees. So we can see here that just on auction 1 alone, we have $23,000 saved for collectors in terms of selling fees, and almost $25,000 saved for collectors in buying fees. Now there's a note to be made, a caveat in terms of with a lower buyer premium rate, people might be willing to bid more, but in general, the numbers indicate that for what we saw, most coins went about industry average anyway in terms of hammers, so we didn't actually see holistically across the lots a general increase reflecting that. So best we can tell, the actual hammers didn't increase, even though buyer's premium was lower. which does mean that for auction 1, that buyer's premium was saved. So again, we're looking at a traditional auction house with their fee structures. They would have charged collectors who were selling about $23,000 in fees, and they would have charged collectors who were buying about $30,000 in fees. L5, of course, is the low-fee leader in the marketplace, so we charged $0 in collector selling fees. That means we saved collectors $23,000 in selling fees, and we do have costs for the platform, a lot of advertising, infrastructure, so we're still in the red, not profitable, but we did charge $6,134 in fees. That compares to the $30,873 that an auction house would have charged. So we're seeing that in terms of buying fees for collectors, we saved them $24,739. So in summation, taking the selling fees and the buying fees put together, that means that for L5 auction 1, we saved collectors a total of $47,000 and $47,894.05, which is of course a very large amount, and that's just reflective of the first auction, but also indicative of a wider trend in that L5 is coming out here to be a platform created by collectors, run for collectors, and the main goal of our work, of our platform, what we want to do is create a community and of course save collectors money and try to offer a very low-cost platform that actually allows collectors to connect with collectors. So as we can see here, in terms of auction 1, that's been a resounding success, and we've saved collectors almost $50,000 in fees, which of course is just awesome, great to see, something we're very happy about. So just in summation for auction 1, we did have 98.5% of lots sold, total hammer value of $154,000 compared to an estimate of $81,000. 2,381 registered accounts, registered bidders, just between the publishing of the platform and auction 1. That's how many people have signed up. And then for actual unique visitors on auction day, we had 8,413 visitors. Now that doesn't mean they were bidding, that just means that an individual logged on and watched the auction for some amount of time. But still, that's great to see that we had 8,400 people curious enough. And then in terms of the fee structure, L5 has saved collectors about $50,000, which is really awesome, really cool to see. Sort of being the main goal of the platform to help collectors out. We're very happy that that was achieved. So yeah, please do check us out. Auction 2 is already live with previews, different lots already published. A lot of cool and interesting pieces, great provenances, Greek, Roman, you name it, it's already on there. So feel free to take a look there, bid on some coins that look interesting, and of course, if you have a consignment to sell, if you have pieces you want to sell, L5 represents a zero-fee environment for sellers. So as we mentioned, we saved sellers in the last auction $23,000. So if you're going to sell coins, this is a place to go. You'll keep 100% of your hammer. So overall, really awesome to see a great success for auction 1. Auction 2, the preview is live, looking to be even better. And of course, last but not least, I would like to issue a heartfelt thank you to everyone who supported us along the way. Everyone who listed a coin for sale, everyone who bid, and then of course even the people commenting in the system, leaving feedback, grading coins, all of that's very much appreciated. L5, the idea is to build a community apparatus, to have a marketplace really run by the community. As we say, it's from collectors for collectors, so really awesome to see, and of course none of this would be possible without all the collectors actually engaged and excited about the platform. So a very large thank you to you all. And of course, this is kind of our way to give back, right? L5 will never raise our fees, that's a promise. In fact, we're already planning to lower them down the road. Once we go to scale, we'll actually lower the fees, but this is just one auction showing that we've already saved about $50,000. So it's a really cool platform, really cool project, and it wouldn't be possible without you all. So thank you very much, and until next time. A small update though, before I leave, kind of not related to L5, but I will be having my Anglo-Saxon numismatic series, the first episode being published soon. That's going to be very fun, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to be looking at pre-Christian Anglo-Saxon England, the influence of Christianity on that island, how it changed the culture, and then seeing in terms of numismatic evidence how the pagan period compares to the Christian period, and seeing the wonderful world of Viking invasions and attacks and the Venerable Bede and Alfred the Great and all those illustrious figures. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be, I believe now, an 8-part series. probably each episode about 2 to 3 hours long. So we're looking at maybe even a 20-hour series in total. So it's going to be really special, really cool, so keep an eye out for that. But again, thanks to everyone who participated in L5 Auction 1. As always, I'm Sam. Make sure to leave a like and a comment, and until next time.